be recording this in case anybody wants to listen in. So welcome to a very really quick, it's like not even a team call, like a team chat. But I was thinking, because of the open house, it feels like it might be too late to invite people to it. And in reality, we should start talking about coach open houses a week or two before we actually run it. But the thing is the beauty of a coach open house is that they can join in anytime and follow along the posts. And so really we can be inviting to the open house for like the next few weeks. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about it now, but it can be something simple. I think when it comes to the coach open house, what I envision anyway for kind of our team, at least what I'm going to be doing, is doing the open house every other month, and then on the off month doing, instead of the open house, just doing a call, like the how to launch a business call. And that way it kind of speaks to different personalities, different people. Some people like the open house, some people just want to listen to the call. And then it like keeps it kind of fresh for us too as coaches. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So I had reached out to Brigitte last week and was like, hey, I want to help out at the open house if you need any help. And she's like, great, I would love somebody just to do the post. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right, fine. I can do that too. I was like, I could like make a video, but no, we'll just dive all the way in. So I'm actually kind of slightly intimidated because it's like all of Forward Fitness. And so it's like a little bit more nerve-wracking, but I'm like, whatever. We've run coach open houses before. We can run them again. It'll be fine. So that's the beauty of growth, right? But so one thing that I have been trying to work really, really hard on is mixing coaching in with my fitness sharing. And I think that actually both Stacy and Lindsay, I feel like you guys do a good job with this. But like talking about how fitness is your job, like you're showing up for yourself because that's part of your job. And that you're still here doing it because it's part of your job. And you are logging in because, yes, you have boot campers, but you also have coaches, you know. And so just kind of like, I'm just trying to very subtly mix that in with those coaching posts. Like I always just like, it could even be a hashtag like, because it's my job, or, you know, whatever you want to do. But some subliminal message, I guess, that like we're here working on ourselves because like that is the job. And I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, what keeps a boot camper long term is that they turn to coaching. And so for me personally, I'm like, I wonder if I would still be here if I wasn't coaching. Like if I still would be using Beachbody and all the stuff. And like, what a shame if that would not have happened. So because we're all going to go through this anyway. So about inviting. So first in the posts, I'm trying to subliminally stick that in there. And then I'm getting a little bit more bold about talking about money and the financial opportunity in coaching. The truth is, we want people to come in, either they're already challengers or they're brand new, that want to build a business. And so if we're not attracting them, we're not going to get them. And I think we're all pretty good at attracting people who want to be healthier. But now it's like, do you want something more than that? And my post I made today, I used the word 6 figures, and that terrified me. And then talking about it on my story. So I'm going to be super truthful with you guys. My business did hit a 6-figure income for 2 years, and then it is not at a 6-figure currently. Like it's getting back, you know, it's getting back. But I don't want to hesitate using that word. And when I was following Brigitte while I was just a challenger at first, she used it often, and she for sure wasn't there yet. And the thing is you can call this a 6-figure business or 6-figure like goal or whatever without necessarily being at that benchmark. Does that make sense? Like the opportunity is there. And she's like, I just called it my 6-figure business because that is how I was treating it. And that is what I was making it. And that is where she was able to get it. Does that make sense? And so it's okay to talk about it and be a little bit vague, I guess, is what I'm saying. Not lie and not like the whole fake it till you make it, but kind of more like, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going with this. And this is the opportunity. And so The open house will have lots of income examples, which are great, because proof is in the, in so many different stories. So that will be there. But for you personally, like, just think about what kind of business are you building, and then don't be afraid to talk about it. And so that's something that I always go through phases. Like, I've made my post today. Actually, I made it last night and then I deleted it, and then I couldn't sleep all night because I was like, can you really say that? Like, oh my gosh, like, we're talking about money. And then this morning I was like, it's go bold or go home, man. We like have to do this. So watch out, Reagan. So anyway, so then I stuck it on there, and I'm like, anybody who likes that post, and I've had a few comments like, your hair looks cute. Yes, I used a very cute picture of myself, okay? Like, I washed and curled my hair for that picture. But
that's a total trick too. I use like family pictures, and I get tons of likes on that because it's like a family picture. But I still invite them.
Yes, it's like perfect. And so I'm like, okay, you guys, like, this is, thanks for the support. Like, have you thought about coaching or something similar to what Stacy shared in the threads in our team page? Like, just, have you ever thought about doing this? I have an open house if you want to maybe just be a fly on the wall. I don't have the shows on here. I told you that already. They're not on my phone. So anyway, yep, I know. Life is miserable. We're trying to cut back on electronics around here, and it's been pretty rough. Pretty rough. So I lost my train of thought, but that's kind of where that is in a nutshell. Oh, I'm at 5%. So Stacy, I'm gonna turn it to you to like share kind of what you did this week, because I know you sent out like a bazillion invites, and I'm gonna go find my computer plug, but I'm taking you guys with me, so we're gonna just travel here. But I'm gonna mute myself and give it to you.
Okay, so I saw, I think it was Lindsay that said that you were gonna do the TFF coach sneak peek last week. And so I decided to hop on the train because I haven't really been focusing on those. And so I made a post Thursday, because on Thursdays, those are my coaching invite posts. So it's always like, come join me, like, you want to know more info. So I decided to share about the sneak peek. And I did use a family picture that we recently took. And I got like 80 or so likes on Facebook, and about the same on Instagram. And then Sunday I did a transformation post showing, where I was when I was on my honeymoon and where I was as a mom of two. And then again, I shared about like our sneak peek is coming up if you want to know more about how I'm doing this. And so then yesterday I sent 71 invites to everyone who had liked my post on Facebook and Instagram, who I hadn't recently invited to the coaching. And actually some of them if they like in the last 3 months, if I had invited them, I sent the same message I shared yesterday, because it was, I'm not sure if you were just being supportive or if you do want to like jump into the group to find out more information. But I'd love to have you join us. It's a private app, or a private group. Like, it's just information. Do you want to come join us? And I've gotten a lot of people that were like, you know what? I was just being supportive, but I like to learn new things. So sure, I'll be in the group. And you just never know, like, if they see some of the posts from the other coaches and they decide, hey, this is something I want to do. And then today I did the same thing. So between those two posts, I have sent about 100 invites. And it's just having a really good picture and just posting consistently about what I'm doing. And then, I think once a month having like an actual group or call or something is really cool, because then you can like be more bold and say, do you want to come join this group? Instead of just leaving it like, if you want more information, let me know. So that's what I've done.
Yeah, I love that, Stacy. Wow. That's like a new goal of mine. I'm like, I need to match Stacy's invites because you're a freaking rock star. And then one thing that I put in my direct call to action, post and then also in the private messages is usually I say something like, there's no pressure, it's just info, you can be a fly on the wall. Because that's the one thing that I think does scare people is they don't want to go in thinking that somebody's going to be noticing them or somebody's going to be like asking them to participate in something or feel sailed to, and so it's like, I usually always put some sort of disclaimer. I mean, it's the same thing when I do a boot camp invite when it's like, do you want more information? There's no pressure. I just thought maybe you'd be interested. And so I kind of just tailor it that way too with my coach invite. Also, I saw Stacy's post, her honeymoon and her current, which was jaw dropping. Like you could just see the joy too, like in your face. And I loved the whole post. And so I shared that on my stories. I think that sharing each other's transformations and sharing each other's coaching stories are super powerful because it is that it's not just me, it's somebody else. And sometimes if I'm listening to a training call and they share a tiny bit of their story, I'll record it and stick it in there too. And I think it was Keisha actually who said she just is a collector of stories. And that way, so she's always sharing a piece of somebody's story, at least on the days that she's targeting coaching. So if you think about your coaching days, think about incorporating that in. Lindsay, I tried to share one of yours once, but are you private on Instagram? Because it wouldn't let me share it on my stories. Or maybe there's a setting that you have to do to say that you can share posts.
I don't think so, but I'll look.
I'll try again. Instagram was weird last week for me, but you had a really good transformation post, and I was like trying to put it on my story. It was like,
yeah, that would have been yesterday, my transformation, I think, but it wasn't a good one.
I'm trying to think of what it was your kids working out with you or something. It was something with your kids. It was good.
Oh, okay.
I love it when you guys make good posts. Like you guys make good posts all the time, but like one that I'm like, yes, I can share that. Like, yeah, it's perfect. It says exactly what. Anyway, so
yeah, I don't care.
I'm glad you said that, Amber, because I saw your post today about your 6 figures, and I'm totally sharing it in my stories later today.
Yeah, and it's just like we're all just teammates, and like doing this together, and there's just such power in that, and like just. I know a lot of people too who joined a long time ago. Like I remember sharing one of my income progressions. This was quite a few years ago, but some of my coaches, like it was the carrot to the ones that they had been talking to about coaching. And so she had shared or commented on that income progression. And so people who were kind of thinking about joining her saw that and they were like, okay. Like, so I think sometimes we get in our mindset, like, I can't share so-and-so's story because then it like takes people to their like, that's my mindset because I have issues with, obviously personal development has helped me a ton, but I'm like, I don't want to send people to other people, but that's not true. That's not what happens. They're following you for a reason. They trust you. And then when they see that people that you're working with so like then I was like, oh, it's okay to share Brigitta's stuff. It's okay to share Scotty's stuff. Like it's okay. Like you're showing evidence, So anyway, yeah. Like I'm like, I really want to get into the habit of sharing more of those. And then people who are watching your stories, they see those posts, even if they don't read them. I like clicking it so you can at least read the first, like the tagline of the post versus just the photo. So like, and it usually gives you some snippet of like Stacy's was, the first was my honeymoon and the second picture is now. Like that's a powerful tagline. I think mine today was like, have you ever found yourself accidentally an owner of a 6-figure business, And then it's like, so that's the tagline. So something catchy and make sure that you can see the typing. And then you can invite to it. Like, thanks for watching my stories. Like, have you ever thought about it? You just work on you and share it and got a group and all the things. So I think that's it. I think one thing that we can do too is our team call for next week. Oh, I won't be in town actually next week. So except for Monday. So we could do some sort of, if for any new coaches that join this weekend, like we could have some sort of team call for new coaches on Monday. Does that make sense? Like we can talk about that in our in our thread, in our Facebook message group. But that might be if each of us have a few that are thinking about it, that's sometimes the push to like, and just so you know, we will start a training on Monday, and then that gives them a little bit of a timeline, I guess, to starting. So
what is your plan for like connecting with the people in the group throughout the 3 days?
That's a good idea. That's a good question. This is actually why groups, I'm not a big group person because it's hard for me to pay attention to people once they're in a group. But I think this is where we need to be keeping a list of anybody who is in that group, really engaging with them on inside the group and outside of the group. So like tagging them in the intro post and then reacting to it, and then also reacting to like that picture of them and their kids and like that kind of thing. And so that they just have like a good connection with you throughout the weekend, and they're in your mind and they're in that. I feel like that's almost the most beneficial. And then they're for sure still seeing your stories where you're still talking about things, and they show that you like care about them. And then I think towards the end, so like Friday or Saturday, sending like that private message that's like, did you get a chance to go through it? What do you think? Like, what are your concerns? You know, do you think do you think this is something you'd want to start soon? You know, or, you know, something like that. Like, I don't feel like I need to be privately messaging them every day. Like, how's it going? Are you watching everything? Are you whatever? But kind of more just interacting with them in the post, like if they were a challenger, and then making sure you're just still interacting with them as a friend on social media. But I think having a list, having them written down and their faces in front of you each day, and like thinking about them and putting that like good energy into them, you know, will help. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
No, I like that. Because I feel like the same way with you, especially, I kind of feel like this is the energy that you need for like the flash sales, and it takes a lot because like you're commenting on their posts, or you're tagging them in posts, and you're like wanting to make sure you're being active. And so messaging them on top of all of that can be overwhelming if you're doing it like every day. So
yeah, and I think so the format for the Team Forward Fitness open house is you know, there's 3 main posts, and so I'll have one up today that's like just introduce yourself, but then like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday there's 3 main posts, like kind of what do coaches do, and then how like how you start as a coach, and then I think it's like questions and concerns or something. But other coaches will be sharing like their stories, snippets in there, and I feel like it's not necessary to tag them in all of them. But if there's somebody that's like how I build this business while teaching, and you have a teacher in there, then, you know, if you're kind of looking and seeing what coaches are doing and like, okay, I actually think my prospect would really resonate with this person and what they're sharing, then you could tag them in that specific post. You know what I mean? Versus like bombarding like, or like, if you're going to watch any video, watch this one, or you know what I mean? Like something like that, so that it's just more, and it is a lot of work. I think groups are a lot of work, which is probably why I don't do them very often. And here's something else. I'm just going to throw this out there because I think I really want to play with this, but I didn't get it put together in time to do it for this open house. But I kind of want to do an Instagram one where, and I already created the Instagram name and like the page, but I don't have anything in it, like not even a profile picture. But it's called Coach Life Be Like is the name, because I couldn't find a name that was interesting. But I kind of like the idea of asking people if they would rather just keep it on Instagram, and then they go into a private Instagram profile page. So it's private, it's not open. And then there are just set posts that are in the story or in the wall that are just like, start here and like, what is coaching? You know, like questions and kind of the same things, only they're just right there. And then the stories. So multiple people would have access to the group, but the stories could be talking about, you know, being like the live videos and doing a little bit more like sharing the stories. And then we just have those in highlights. Does that make sense? So then it's kind of like, and then like a little bit of training in there too, or something, you know, like a little bit of this is how you would start. This is how you can get started, you know? So I don't know. I just noticed that another coach had done that. And I was like, a little light bulb went up in my head because I'm like, so many people don't want to go to Facebook. And so I was like, but if all they had to do was click on an Instagram profile and hit follow, and then we as coaches can go in and see who's in there. You know what I mean? Like, and accept the friend requests or the follow requests or whatever. But anyway, and it doesn't mean that you can create your own if you want to, but I was just thinking about it. So
I love that idea because I saw your story about how you had one for Facebook and one for Instagram, and I was going to ask you like how you're doing that because I created videos for myself that I could send my Instagram people that aren't on Facebook because I was running into that so much. But I love that idea of a page.
So you could have like a Stacy, you could have like your own Instagram page that's private for anybody that is interested, or we can have a team one, like, or both.
I love the team idea because then they can see the community.
That's what I was thinking. And then it's a very easy place to share, like I shared your transformation story. It's an easy place to start collecting, you know, testaments, and it's our team, and it can be organized because you can have highlights and, you know, and posts. And so that's kind of where I'm thinking of leaning. Like, I kind of think this will be my last Facebook open house group. And then I might move over to Instagram and then just rely on whoever runs Team Forward Fitness ones to, if I have a Facebook person, and it's like, okay, well, here you go. And I'll be active with them in there. But I really like the idea of moving it over to Instagram. And I think it could be really great. And then if they don't want to be in there anymore, they just hit unfollow. You know, it's no big deal. But it could be a game changer for us, I wonder. So anyway, okay. Everyone ready? I feel like we need to like put our hands in and be like, break, like let's go get people to come and hear all of that.
Let's get builders.
Yes. And that's the mindset shift. I feel like that is, we struggle with, but we're getting better at. I think as a team, we're getting better at talking about the coaching side of things, and it's just those subliminal things. And when I read coach posts, like from coaches who are really just crushing it, who are, you know, just really recruiting, they talk about it. They're not shy on social media about, yeah, I was criticized for joining an MLM. Guess what? Like, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just interesting how, you know, I don't know. It does help that I'm reading Rachel Hollis right now. So, like, the girl stop apologizing, where she's just like, can you just, like, get to work? Like, why are you even, like, still complaining? Like, your excuses are stupid. Like, go out there and just do it. So, anyway, there's that. But how about I take a little boomerang of us since we look so cute? Oh, I'll quit the recording.